So hey folks, this is another unboxing. The Seicane, I think I'm pronouncing it right, it's S-E-I-C-A-N-E. It is a Carplay smart screen. I think it's 10.26 inches. And I'll be installing this in my neighbor's car, my neighbor's actually truck, Ford F-150, 2012 F-150. Doesn't come with any of these features, so he's happy to have it. Open it up real quick to show you what's inside. So the first thing we have at the top is the screen. All right. Here it's got, oh boy, let me get that noise out the way. It's got a power button on the top, double-sided adhesive on the bottom if you decide to install it this way. On one side, I don't know if you can see that with this lighting, it's got USB port and it looks like an audio port. On the other side, it's got, I'm trying to not get the glare for you to see this, but my lighting is a bit of a challenge tonight. Here's a good angle, I think. It's got the micro SD card, USB-C, dash cam, backup camera, and the GPS port, right? Back here, it looks like a little hole. It has R. That's likely the reset port. Let's put that aside. Open up the rest of the box. We've got an audio cable. We've got, this would be the GPS dongle. We've got what amounts to a dash mount if you don't want to use adhere it with the double-sided tape. You have a dash mount with a dash mount base. And this is the 12-volt supply, power supply. One end is USB-C to plug into that, and then the other end is 12-volt for the car lighter, and the manual. And the manual is very tiny print. It's more like a leaflet. Wow, that is incredibly tiny. Even without the light, I don't think you can read that. I don't think I can read it without glasses. So that's it, folks. That's the unboxing. I will continue and do a video of the installation and how it works. So that will be the next step. All right, folks. I'm going to take a look today at the Seicane, S-E-I-C-A-N-E, Carplay, Android Play, nav system for any vehicle. Today I'm going to be putting it into my friend's F-150, Ford F-150. So I'll show you, I'll go into the car because it's a little cold out here. I'll go into the vehicle, I'll open the box, show you what's inside, and then we'll get to installing it. If you've seen my reviews before, you would have seen that some time ago I installed that dash cam into his vehicle. He liked it, but he wanted something bigger, especially when reversing, and he wanted something with more features. So since my truck comes with it built in, and I got this review, I decided that we're gonna, give him the joy of having it in his F-150. This is a 2012 F-150, I believe. So I looked at the manual. That manual is sort of not very helpful, very fine writing and not a lot of information. But what I can tell that's written here, I don't know if you can see that, we have from left to right, Type-C USB, audio video in, SD card, TF card, and the GPS connector. On the opposite side, there is a USB, and there's no markings to say what that is, but we'll figure it out as we go, as I move along now to getting this beauty installed. So making the connections to the camera, the 12-volt wire plugs in USB-C here, and the GPS plugs in here to the GPS outlet. Now we're going to figure out where we're going to put it, but first I'm going to start up the vehicle to see what it looks like. So as soon as I plugged in the lighter, the ignition in the car is on, you can hear it. The screen came on, and as you can see, it's touch screen. There's a browser, there's a navigation. So we're gonna figure out where to mount it, and then we'll look at the features to see how it works. Because once you connect it to your phone and you have wireless, obviously you can use the YouTube, the music, the navigation. I'm gonna try to test it with both iPhone and Android. So it took some difficulty to finally get to this point where CarPlay is working. It took some difficulty because the instructions are tiny and not straightforward. So I had to figure my way around the screen. But now, as you see, it has a 5G connection. You can see that if I go to CarPlay, there you go, that's Apple CarPlay. You have the usual CarPlay screen with podcasts and Odyssey and everything. You have your navigation. You can touch as anything. You can search. You can put in your address or whatever. So CarPlay works, but that's not the end of my test. I am going to also test it with Android Play. And so far, it seems to have the standard jack for a backup camera, but I've been unable to get the backup camera to work. So next step, those are the things I'm going to try. So after some effort, I was also able to get Android Auto to connect. There you see the GPS for Android Auto, right? This is Android Auto. It's connected to his phone. Right. The Android Auto app that I also had to be downloaded on the phone. So that's it. I think there's a way to... I'm not very familiar with Android, so I think... There we go. Got the full screen. So with some perseverance, it works. Like I said, the manual is, to me, useless, since you can't really read it and you have to figure out, I have to take some time to figure it out on my own. But it's a nice display. It's clear. It sounds good. I was able to hook it up to the, I used an audio cable. They did not send the backup camera. I have done this before with these types of devices where the jack for the backup camera is standard. So if you can see here, this dash cam has a backup camera, and I was hoping to be able to give him on the big screen, but that small tiny jack is what's needed for this backup camera, which I have not seen on other backup cameras that I've installed. Forgive my finger if it's going over the camera sometimes. I'm moving around here. Okay, so let me see if I can get Hey Google to work. Hey Google, play jazz music.
All right, I can play that on YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Deezer, or iHeartRadio. Which one do you want to use?
iHeartRadio.
To do that, you'll need to install iHeartRadio. When it's safe, check the notification on your device to get started. In the meantime, you can also ask for news or a podcast.
So this is not my phone. I use CarPlay iPhone. I tried this out. It works fine. Using the auxiliary cable connected here, it plays through the speakers for the vehicle, so that works. Okay, and that's about it. So as I tried to tidy up the wires and installation, it's not that easy. This is just, I guess, temporary. My neighbor will decide what he will do, but I ran the wires behind the front of the dashboard, and there's the GPS sensor right there where I can see everything. And so we're gonna try to tidy up these wires, but one of the downsides of these things using the cigarette lighter it's very hard to hide the cables, right? So we're gonna work on that. It's USB, so maybe we can get something with the same specs and get a really long cigarette lighter cable. Or maybe this one is long enough. We'll see. But that's the installation, folks. Here you go. On Android Auto at the moment.